So part 2 will be strategic planning and business requirement analysis and will be presented by Ms. Navi. So please, Ms. Navi.
Okay, thank you, Bong, that gave me a chance to speak the topic. Good morning, Doctor, Professor, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Navi. I am here in Group 3. I'm going to talk topic about strategic planning and business environment analysis. Strategic planning and business environment analysis are critical processes that organizations undertake to define their long-term visions, align resources, and achieve competitive advantage. These processes involve accessing internal and external factors that impact the organization, formulating actionable strategies, and continuously monitoring and adjust plan in response to changing conditions. This summary outlines the key learning on strategic planning and business environment analysis. Now let's move on to understanding strategic planning. It is a systematic process that organizations use to define their direction, set objectives, and determine the action required to achieve this goal. It provides a framework for decision-making and resource allocation, enabling organizations to align their effort with their vision and vision. We have 5 key components of strategic planning: vision and mission, guide or strategic initiative, establishing a clear vision, long-term aspiration, and a mission that organization purpose. And about the objectives, specific measurable goal that organization aim to achieve within a defined time frame, and guide action taken and serve as benchmark for performance evaluation. And about strategy formulation, identifying the best course of action to achieve objective involve analyzing potential opportunities, threats, and competitive advantages. And action plans, detailed plans outlining the resources, timeline, and responsibility necessary to execute the chosen strategies. And the budgeting, financial expenses we need to execute the action plan. And the next, the strategy planning processes, including 4 points. Assessment, the tool called SWOTs. SWOT analysis are commonly used. Organizations must evaluate their current situation through internal assessment like strengths and weaknesses, and external assessment opportunity and threats. So the tool SWOT are strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, threats. And strategies development, based on the assessment, organization develop strategies to leverage strength and opportunity while addressing weaknesses and threats. And implementation, action plans are created to execute strategies effectively. This often involves aligning resources, assigning responsibility, and establishing timelines. And about the monitoring and evaluation, we need to continuous monitoring of performance metric is necessary to assess progress and makes adjustments. Organization must be agile in responding to changes in the external and internal environment. And the next step, business environment analysis, involves examining the external factor that influence an organization operation and strategic decision. Understanding the business environment is critical for identifying opportunity and threats, guiding strategic planning efforts. There are two components of business environment analysis are micro environmental factors. These include broader societal forces that impact the industry, typically analyzed using the PESTOR framework. The PESTOR frameworks are political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal. Political related to government policy, regulatory framework, and political stability that can affect our operations. Economic condition, trend, inflation rates, and consumer spending that influence demand and profitability. About the social demographic changes, cultural trend, and consumer behavior that affects market needs and preferences. Technological advancement and innovation that can create disruptive changes or opportunity for efficiency. And about the environment factors such as sustainability and climate change, influencing organizational practices and consumer expectations. The legal law and regulation governing business operation, including labor law, trade regulation, and intellectual property rights, and industry analysis. Understanding the competitive landscape through frameworks such as post-buy process helps organizations access the dynamics of their industry, including threats of new entrant. It's a barrier to entry that affects competitive in the markets. And bargaining power of supplier, the influence supplier has on pricing and supply availability. And bargaining power of buyer, the power customer has to demand lower prices or higher quantity. Threat of substitutes, the availabilities of alternative products that can fulfill the same needs. Industry rivalry, the intensity of competition among existing players in the markets. Now let's focus on summarizing strategy planning and business environment analysis. We have 4 key learning. Strategic planning is a systematic process used to define direction, set objective, and determine action. Business environment analysis involves examining external factors that influence operations and strategic decisions. Integrity both is essential for effective strategy formulation and adaptations. Key components includes agility, stakeholder engagement, and continuous improvement. And now, in conclusion, strategic planning and business environment analysis are interdependent interdependent processes that play a pivotal in an organization's success. Comprehensive understanding of both internal capability and external market conditions is essential for effective strategy formulating and implementation. Organizations that prioritize strategic planning and business environment analysis are better positioned to navigate uncertainty, leverage opportunity, and achieve their long-term goals. Now, that's bring me to the end. I would like to thank you for your attention and listening.
Okay, thank you, Navi, for your presentation. So, I'd like to give to the floor to our team, Professor Doctor, our teammate, classmates, if you have any questions on our presentation.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam. Very good presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Visna.
Happy Women's Day.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Can you move slide to pastel framework? Okay, here, that's good. Mr. Chairman, because this is a very good model that used to analyze the external framework for investor, because recently about Trump policy on new tariff, there will be big impact for investor in China. And those investors may have may looking another strategy to move to other country. And those countries may be in ASEAN. And in ASEAN, there are big potential 3 countries. Those include Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia. That is the big potential country that Chinese investors are looking at. Based on this framework, do you think, because I think the problem with the investor in electronic component, because a lot of electronic component export to US, and there will be big trouble with tariff, increase in tariff. And then, because electronic component, if we think, if the electronic investor, they will consider big 3 countries, Vietnam, Thailand, and Indonesia. So based on this framework, do you think, if about Cambodia, do you think anything that the government should do in order to, gain competitive advantage in similarly or in comparable with these big 3?
That is a big question, Dr. Visna. But let me try to answer. Actually, I think in terms of we have good political stability. That one is the advantages, I believe, and also we still have potential. If you look at the geographic location of Cambodia, not less, I would say that comparing country to country, we can be good partnership also in the region with Thailand, with Vietnam. But the thing is, to my concern, and that Cambodia need to do is to ensure the legal framework, legal supporting system on tax and customs, that in order to deposit the trust, ensure the trust to investors, to make sure that we have clear guidelines, policies, regulations, and especially here intellectual properties. And that one thing that we need to make sure, because all other things, I think we are somewhere not less than other countries, but then we need to make sure that we have established, well trusted the policy and regulations. And that's why the government is working that hard on this, to make sure we have proper governance. We have, let's say, not overlapping roles among government agencies. Also, another part that we need to look at is the sustainability trend on the ESG that everybody knows that because if also Cambodia planning to live LDC by 2029, and then that is the big thing for us that we need to be prepared. So how many people understand Cambodia about the impact of environmental, social, and governance? How many people know how to make sustainability reports, for example? I think that we need to look at. So when we're talking about micro environment, and that will present us on both threats and opportunities. I would say we still have a lot of opportunities coming from political stability. You know, we have young dynamic folks, nearly 2/3 of the population is, you know, aged 18 to 30. And also the quite big jump, 5 to 6% growth every year. So all in all, even technology, we are somewhere, you know, similar or even more advanced in some countries, I would say. Technology is very fair enough that if you take it, you can take it, and not necessarily that we are moving far behind from other countries, but we can also at the same pace. But to me, I think two areas that we need to look at is environmental and also the legal part. And then if one more part that we should address as well is our internal factors. Internal factors coming to the labor force, because recently many investors come to invest in Cambodia, but we do not have have the labor for them. That's why the government is working on the 1.5 million skill training. So that's for us, we need to ensure that we have we have skilled workers for them, and also supportive regulations and legal framework. And also we need to be mindful with environmental social governance that will be enforced, you know, more and more, especially in Europe and also in other part of the countries. I don't know whether I answered your question, Dr. Visna.
Yeah, very good question. You know, I have only one question, so I leave to Professor Dr. Sa or Dr. Thani. If you have any question, please.
Hello, Miss Navi. I have a question for you, and I'm sorry I have to ask this because after this I have to go to a function at my work for Women's Day. Miss Navi, I'm not sure. I mean, we've heard here today that you've talked about all these issues, but I would like to know what industry you work in, and can you give me a specific example of how you have or give us an example of one of your strategic plans that you've implemented within your own company? Because we've heard here that this is all the theory side, but I would like to know, and I guess everyone else would like to know, something that you've put in place or you've implemented along any of these themes, such as pastel or any other of your themes. So if you could let me know or let us know, please.
I think, Mr. President, you should move slide to the portfolio force that relevant to the industry or relevant to the company strategy. I think in group can help, you know, can share this practical experience.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe Mr. President can share.
Okay. I think let me share this first because when we talk about the strategy formulation, we need to look at environment and then both macro and micro environment. So allow me to maybe again take my company as an example. Let's say, for example, the reform of the government. So that is both political and also social. When the government before in the last 10 years, five years back, the government schools do not gain trust much, you know, from the people, from the population. So the new government under the leadership of the new prime minister, he tried to bring back the education system in Cambodia, because people try to lose trust. And now they have a good reform. They invested a lot of money, you know, on the government schools, and that is presenting also threats to the private sector, and not only on that field. Let's say, for example, on the social and political. I would say maybe not only Cambodia, in some other countries the same, that sometimes they drive the country not based on pure economic, but also political economically. They take care on the grassroots first. So anything you do, let's say, for example, as you are the business owner, you are the corporate owner, you have one vote. And then people at large, everybody has one vote. So this, we need to bear in mind that when we do the business in some countries, that they weight more on the political side. They take care of the population. So we need to be very careful, especially when social media is also on the trend. So all and all here, that when we do the business plan, we need to make sure where is the risk for us. If you do the business involve too much, with that could be the bargaining power from the mass population, that you need to be careful. That is political. Okay, and even technology, we can adapt more here. I think that all on the opportunity size that we can do. Let's say for my company, I try to catch up with technology, and that's why we can also scale up my business without having the physical locations in some areas. The online learning, hybrid learning, that we do. And the presence of even e-commerce is not pure, 100% e-commerce, but at least on the social media, and the business, let's say delivery, and that is the opportunities for the business people as well. So that is the framework. And also if you look at the part of 5 foxes, we do it very well. I believe in most companies who understand the strategic management. So we really define the no entrance in any strategic location. For example, for me, before I open any location, and then we will see, I do usually what we call competitor mapping. So who are in the area, how many competitors are there, that is in industry rivalries, and I do the 7P analysis from the product, price, promotion, physical event, people, all those 7P of marketing, and then comparing all their 7Ps with my 7P product, service, people, process, physical evidence, all that area. From my company to all other, I would say the competitors. And also I need to foresee that in that area, who could be the new entrants. And then we need to have, raise up the entry bar to make sure that they discourage them to come to that area sometime. Another strategy that I take is when I go there, and if I can foresee that maybe somebody else would come to the market as well, and then I ask them to do the joint venture, because they may go, so why they go and compete? So rather than have competitor, I do more on collaboration. I ask them to go to the market, to run the product and services together. And also the threats of substitutes and also bargaining power and suppliers. We also do the analysis on consumer side, what they need, what they think. And every business, we have suppliers, and then what could be the best suppliers in local or any suppliers from different countries that we need to compare. We also need to make sure that not any supplier, they have absolute, exclusive power on us. So we have many alternative options we can choose. Okay, I don't know whether I can answer your question, Dr. Charles, but this is what we usually do in the company as well. So my company, we have 5-year strategic plan, 5 years financial plan, and also 10 years roadmap as well.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. I just wanted to ask you something about strategic planning as well. Normally when you do a strategic plan, I know there's always a long-term plan, but then would you then also look at milestones and shorten your strategic planning to achieve your long-term plan, for example? And how would you break that up? For example, some strategic plans look at a 6-month period as the short term, then it goes to maybe a year or 15 months. So in relation to your company, you talked about the 5-year plan, but then is it then broken down into smaller milestones?
Yeah, definitely, because strategic plan, I would say, just intention, mostly goals, intended goals, and intended strategy. It does not mean that we have, let's say, 5 strategy, 5 ways to implement, and then we implement all the 5 ways for 5 years. Definitely, we have contingencies plan, backup plans, additional plans. Sometimes we take one off and we add one up, and that is the normal. That's why we do some kind of business performance review. Every year we have we break those that strategic plan, 5 years plan, into 1 year action plan. So let's say in 5 years in business we want to achieve how much, let's say financially or maybe non-financial goals, and then we break those into every year. We call a yearly plan, and even yearly plan, we cannot just have yearly plan at the beginning of January and then just wait and see and in December. No, that's not what we do as well. So usually the board and the management team, we have the meeting every 3 months. So the board, we have board meeting 4 times a year. The same time with the management, what we call business performance review, to check whether even the annual plan can be achieved or not. And then we need to, let's say, also scaling up, or we need to improve more what we need to do if we cannot achieve in quarter 1, and then we need to improve more in quarter 2. So this is what we do, not only break the strategic plan to yearly plan, but also we have the monitoring and evaluation every quarter as well. That's what we do. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And I had just one last question before I go. In Vietnam, a lot of CEOs, even though they have a strategic plan in place, they have an action plan in place, they have managers, directors in place, but a lot of Vietnamese CEOs tend to micromanage the actions of their managers and their directors on a day-to-day basis. Under your strategic plan or the way your company operates, do you then micromanage your directors and leaders, or do you give them the ability to do what they have to do and then just report to you?
I think ideally we should not micromanage. But what I mean ideally, I mean that depends on the people. But most people in my company, for example, and supposed to be in all other companies, that the CEO, the senior management should not micromanage, but should be micro monitor. And that's what I would say.
That's a good term.
No, should not micromanage, but everything that your team manage, you should know. Otherwise, you could not have a good feedback. So I don't know whether it's correct or you may concur, but for me, I try to get the feedback even from my customers, and then from my customers, from my operation employees, to make sure that they are well treated. Employees and all the strategy implementation implemented. We do not micromanage, but we micro monitor. That's what I'm talking. And some of the senior management directors, managers, we may only, you can meet just only once a week, 30 minutes. But of course, some management need to be more, we spend more time on building them, developing them, for some times of period of time. And I believe that running a company, you are not non-profit organization. You give some terms of improvement, and then you need to make sure that you have good talent, attract, retain, and motivate talent, and that is important. And sometimes you need to let people go so that you can also have new talent coming out. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much to the team. And Dr. Sack and the team, I have to excuse myself because I have to go to a Women's Day function now. But thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Dr. George. Thank you for your time and appreciate your question and your sharing.
Hey.
Let me take some question.
Yes, Dr. Thane.
Okay, maybe it's move from the business to the politics. I have 2 questions. Ask ask like to the businessman like you, how do you think about Thai and China kill all call center or scammer at the border of Cambodia and Thai? This is the first question. And how affect to Cambodian business, and how do you protect their list? Yeah, you can act by freedom. Yep.
You made a scam call center, Dr. Tani?
Game
Yep, yep.
online.
Yeah,
Uh,
yes.
Yeah. I can brief the story first, and then President, you can help answer. The scam online currently the global loss for 2024 1.3 trillion lost to the online scam. 1.3 trillion US dollars for 2024. The most money from US, and the second from Europe. And for Thailand also has some ranking as well. Let me check. Because Thailand also having this problem as well, scamming. Yeah, and recently the government of Thailand take serious action, against Thai's border, or again Cambodian Thai's border, and also Myanmar Myanmar and Thai's border as well. And here in Cambodia, we have recently created this special task force, which is led by our Prime Minister and our senior government official to take action against online scam. For me, will be good later, very soon, because we actually, both country, Thailand and Cambodia, we want less threat to the investor from China. That's my sharing. And then Mr. President, can you share more your thoughts?
Yeah, I think just want to add a bit more, like Dr. Bisna said, the government forming task force led by himself, the Prime Minister. I think everything can be tackled, can be addressed, with if you have a real intention, pure intention from everybody involved, especially from the government, to address this, and especially when we cross border. Same issue with Thailand, for example. If the government Thailand, government Cambodia are really, I think, care this, they put efforts on this, that will be a big help. That on, I would say, on the game, on the how you say, on the supply side of this game online. But then on the people side, education is very important. So education on the financial literacy, one thing. Let's say, for example, when you say online, it can be also online loan, looking at 20% interest per month, you see, and that related with education. Even 5% is very big, right? 2% is also already big. But you're looking at like 5% per week, 20% per month. And that's why for me, I think, because that usually the online fraud or scam involves finance, mostly involve finance. And that's why we need to improve financial education. That's one part to all the population at large, people starting from students. That one thing. And another thing is we need to, the government really need to have some sort of rules or enforcement, on the cyber security. So cyber safety, that also now even in my schools, we start to aggressively teach, kids, employees and students on cyber safety, security, so that they can protect themselves. Okay, so I believe on two ends. One end, the government need to take part on those, culprits, those, commit online scam, but also on the other end is the population ourselves need more education on the financial literacy, investment in sometimes not only financial, but also investment knowledge, and also the cyber security. I think that can help so that we can know which one, is good, which one is bad. And like Dr. Visna said, it takes a while. I believe that even in the Philippines, that most commonly known for fighting against all this, issue, still has an issue there. So yeah, it's a long fight. But however, I believe that it could also reduce the risk and and help the victims. Yep.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yep. I am really happy that I heard your feeling inside Cambodia, and you have a lot of information to protect them. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tani. So could I move to the next presentation, Dr. Visna?
Yes, please.
Okay, so would like to move and Sunida, she will be presenting 3 parts, and if we make, I think maybe we propose that she presenting 3 topic, or you can also intervene and ask question when she finishes 1 part first, and then go to other part. So
I think wait until she finish all her part.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we can have question.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Visna. So Sunida, it's your turn. Thank you.
Thank
I will
you.
help you with the presentation.